Hi there, welcome to What's New and Neat in Ensco video podcast number 3, which includes all new Ensco products announced up to the close of business on March 31st, 2018. My name is Dennis Turner and I am your host. If you would like to know more about my background or the background to this video podcast series, please visit video podcast number 1 on YouTube. As always, we will start our podcast by checking out the new announcements since our last podcast on the websites of Ensco Supply and Model Train Stuff. Ensco Supply is our go-to site for pre-ordering new products to ensure that you do not lose out when they are eventually released in 1, 2, 3 or more years' time. Model Train Stuff is our go-to site for new products that have actually shipped and are in stock and ready for purchase. Both sites offer keen pricing, but for overseas purchasers, Model Train Stuff has the edge, as it will ship orders under £4, that's 1.8 kilos, by first class mail at a saving of around $30 per order in comparison with United States Post Office priority shipping. With Ensco Supply, you'll need to bulk up your orders in order to make the shipping cost effective. We'll also have a look at what British outline Ensco products are new and available from Hattons in the UK. And this time we will also check out 2 more US retail sites which you should look up if Model Train Stuff have sold out of a must-have item. They're not cheap, they're not as cheap or as efficient as Model Train Stuff, but they are reliable, and they do discount off considerably off the recommended retail price, unlike sites like Caboose that sell at full price. In video podcast number 2, we checked out the manufacturers' websites of Atlas and Intermountain. This time we will visit the websites at Cato, Bartman and some others, depending on how much time we have. Right, I just want to do a quick shout out for my website, Denver's Railroads. If you're interested in Western US prototypes, Rio Grande, SP, UP, Santa Fe, Rock Island and Burlington in particular, you may like to visit my website, which is at denversrailroads, or one word, .com, and you'll find that there's a massive information, as you can see, on railroads. There's all sorts of information in terms of referencing. There's information about scale modelling, different manufacturers. In terms of the site, there's masses and masses of photographs, some really useful scenery photographs that you won't normally see because everybody's trying to take photographs of trains. I take photographs of mountains and track, of course. So there's information about the layout, and all sorts of, there's some rare stuff amongst the timetables and the maps and what have you. So if you're interested in Western railroads, there's a mine of information there that is intended to assist the modeller who wants to model Western railroads. Okay, on to what's new and neat. First of all, we'll go and look at Ensco Supply's latest newsletter, and hot off the press this morning is the April releases for microtrains. Okay, we'll the best way to have a look at them is to dive down into the next level. And there we go. Right, they're continuing their Heinz 57 series, which they're licensed to do. They're continuing their war series, which seems to be very popular, whether it be World War II or Civil War. There's another road name for for their coach range. They've got quite a lot of passenger cars now. An interesting looking 36-foot wood sheathed reefer. You don't see 36-foot very much. Athern produced a few. I think they were old roundhouse ones some years ago, but and haven't seen many since. And there you go. Microtrains have now got 3 road names. One, of course, being Santa Fe, which will be very popular. I may even buy it myself because I've got quite a few vintage reefers. So then we've got a tank car, we've got an auto rack, Railway Express Agency. They're a bit rare to see boxcars lettered for Railway Express Agency. This April Fool's thing, I'm not sure whether it's whether we're the April Fool or whether there really was a car with the incorrect spelling of refrigerator in the top right hand part of the door. So as I say, I'm not sure whether they're making a fool of us or whether it's a genuine error in the first place. TTX, depressed centre flat cars. I think they were manufactured in the 90s. A really nice looking reefer for the Burlington route. Okay, built in 1923 by Pullman. It's 40-foot outside brace boxcar, was rebuilt in the late 30s and then again in the 40s. It's had a hectic life, but it looks like a really nice looking car if you're into older cars, which, as you can gather, I am. So, right, then we're on to runner packs. Now, runner packs, no point diving down because you don't get any more information than what you can see there for reasons best known to Ensco Supply. Also, they're not due. Most Microtrains products come out about 14 days after being announced. So on the 14th of April, you should be able to buy these products. You certainly couldn't buy them today. But runner packs, no, runner packs can be 6, 9, 12, 15 months before they actually come. And Ensco Supply recycle these quite frequently, obviously trying to get more advance orders, which is their business. And there's some really nice looking runner packs there. Santa Fe in particular, there's not only the boxcars, but if you go into the runner packs, you'll see there's also reefers. Okay, a couple of new road names announced for the SW 1500, which is a shell made by Microtrains, which fits onto the SW 1200 chassis made by Walther's Lifelike. Okay, so more runner packs, more Heinz 57 cars. A lot of these are stuff that's already been announced. And then you've got the PFEs. That's a set of 16 cars. Not seen a 16 car runner pack before, and I'm seriously thinking of buying them when they turn up. The lower price one, $279, is standard cars or standard painting. The $319 set is exactly the same, but they're all weathered, which saves you having to pre-weather your 16 of your thousands of cars. So $40 for weathering, I don't know. You have to be the judge as to whether that's worth the extra. Okay, now we'll go through all of the announcements back to the 14th of March, which was when podcast number 2 came out. So we got Gantline, some more track from Cato. There's always more track from Cato. Arrivals of SD7s, SD9s. I'm pretty sure that's premature. Nobody else is saying that they've got all of those products in stock. The SDs or the GPs, for that matter. Atlas are drip feeding them, particularly because you get the analog version and then the DCC version, and the analogs are available in some of the products but not the DCCs, so watch this space. More Atlas product arrivals of boxcars, arrival of their GP 15-1s, which seems to be a new model. I've not seen GP15s before, I don't think. Okay, then we moved into a Thurn. Not all shops stock a Thurn. A Thurn are pretty strict on their on the size of their orders. I believe you've got to order $5,000 worth of product in order to get to be a Thurn dealer. And the $5,000 wholesale value of product is a lot of money in this day and age. So not all shops stock a Thurn, which is a pity because they're nice products. Okay, SD70s, SD70s arrivals. Mechanical reefer arrivals, they're sort of modern image stuff. Tanks, cars. Now we'll have a look at tank trains. Is it tank trains? Or whatever. When we have a look at the Thurn website, either later in this session or in the next one. Okay, now there's Wheels of Time, insulated boxcars. Now Wheels of Time don't make a lot of product, but what they do make is first class. So's their pricing, but it's really nice stuff and better than most. Actually, these are pretty well priced at 26 retail, 21 discounted. Yeah. Yep, there's some nice product there. I've got quite a few Wheels of Time products. So yeah, I'll have a look at them. There's Rio Grande. Okay, an announcement from Intermountain that some 50-foot boxcars will sometime in the never finally ship. Don't hold your breath if you're waiting for those cars. As you would have seen from podcast number 2, Intermountain have a very, very, very long delivery schedule, and every month it slips a month. So it's quite likely that sometime this year there will be a huge number of F units, but then on the other hand maybe there won't, because we've been waiting 4 years for the F units to appear. Okay, 15th of March, Micro Trains weathered cars. That was where we started on video podcast number 2. So that's where we will end our look at Ensco Supply, and we'll have a look at model train stuff. Okay, now that's the home page. You click on Shop Now. Shop Now should take you into the trains site. Now, trains gives you trains. What it doesn't give you, and if you click on the top right hand corner, see those three lines, 3 parallel bars. You click on that and you'll see that you've got a menu of trains, layout, DCC, supplies and other. So for example, layout gives you scenery and buildings and what have you. So all we're looking at is trains. We're not looking at all these other modelling type stuff. So if you want information about layout, DCC, etc., you need to go and look at those specific categories. But looking at trains, first thing we do is we'll change that 30 to 90. So we'll look at the 90 most recent products. Then we'll go to filters and we'll go end scale. So we're now looking for 4,600 end scale, and this is a new feature for model train stuff. We now have in stock and out of stock, so we can click on the in stock. So we're down to 3,134. So we hide our filters. Okay, try again. Hide our filters, and here we go. So this is the latest actually into stock and available. 677 items. So these are these new Fox Valley 2-bay covered hoppers. This is the second release in the last month or so of this product, and they're really something. They've got, as it says here, they've got special body mounted couplers and Fox Valley metal wheel sets, leaving aside the cosmetics of painting and grab irons, etc. So they should run extremely well. They're certainly more correct with the body mounted couplers. They're pretty much correct NMRA recommended weight. So they're really a nice looking product, and I'll probably get these Union Pacifics to go with the 3 items that I've already ordered. Now, okay, this is an annoying part of this website. You see it's gone back to 30 per page, etc. So we now have to go through the laborious resetting our criteria. So that's a bit of a nuisance. It only happens on the iPad though. If you're looking at this on a PC, then you won't go through this annoyance. Okay, so back here, so 2 bays, several 2 bays, then we come into the 3 bays, lots of new covered hoppers. Then we've got Cato, another one of these Cato USA, where they've added the DCC Dakota after it's shipped from Japan. Most Cato are now coming out with the option of DCC or non-DCC, which is great. But unfortunately, I've got a lot of non-DCC, and whilst installing the Dakotas, in Cato E and F units is quite easy. The front coupler generally falls out and can't be put back, so it requires a new coupler. So I'm finding that a bit of a nuisance and slightly difficult. It's more difficult to install a new coupler than it was to put the decoder in the first place, which is interesting. Okay, lots of Atlas Trainman passenger cars. These are the first passenger cars that Atlas have produced since the days when they shipped Rivarossi product under their name. So lots of passenger cars. They're short ones, 60 foot. I think a standard coach is about 72 foot, and they're all labelled for Eastern Railroads. So if you're a Western Railroad fan, you're SOL. So quite nice, quite a few of them. Okay, as you say, more and more and more. Okay, then we get to the Walthers SW1200s. Okay, now this is the same chassis as the Microtrains SW1500, only Walthers are producing them in as SW1200s. So we have Southern Pacific, Reading, Indian Harbour, etc. And there we go, there's Rio Grande. Now this is interesting. This Rio Grande one is $69.99. Now earlier on, number 139, this is number 135, but 139 was released, and the model train stuff priced the 139 as $79.99, $10 more. Why? No idea. So I've bought both, so I've paid the price. Now I'll finish this and then I'll just come back and tell you a little bit about the decoder for the SW1200, because this does not ship with a decoder and doesn't look like they have any intention of putting the decoder in for you. Okay, that's the end of the page. We'll have a quick look at a couple on the next page. Okay, we've got some Concor container cars. Concor used to sell lots and lots of these packs of container cars and what have you. So maybe they're going to start doing it again. Okay, then we have some Athern SD70s, and then you get into masses and masses and masses of mechanical refrigerator cars that Athern have shipped. So if you're interested in them, I shall leave you to go through them. Now back to the SW1200. I went and had a look at TCS's Dakota installation for that product. Now it says SW1500, but that's because that's the Microtrains body, but it's the same chassis. And if we just go down a little bit, you see the light board is on the left hand side. You've got these two wires which attach to the light board. You pull them out, you then put the decoder in its place and shove the two wires back down, and that's the end of the installation. It would appear to me that this is about the most simplest decoder installation that I've seen so far. The challenge, as always, will be taking the shell off. and that drives you nuts. I've got these fancy products called iSesame. I'll say that again, iSesam. So that's ISESAM. They are, look it up in Google, that they are very thin gadgets which are designed for you to be able to get into iPhones and iPads, because Apple, in their wisdom, don't like people tampering with their products, so they make it very difficult. So these are very thin pieces of metal. Now these can be very, very helpful when you're trying to get a shell off a locomotive, particularly an Ensco one. So anyway, I ordered both the SW1200s and two of the Dakotas. So I'll let you know in the future what's neat and new in Ensco as to how difficult the Dakota installation was. Okay, so we'll take a break at this point and make sure that we actually manage to record all that I think we've recorded. Hi, this is a short segment on importing heavier items from the US into Australia and Europe. And the two items that I'm most interested in are Woodland Scenics plaster cloth, which Model Train stuff sell for $22.49, and a product called sculpture mold, which people outside the US might not be familiar with. It's not a plaster, it's a really cool modelling compound which is designed to work between rocks and scenery, and once you've used it, it's you'll never want to not use it. It's a wonderful product and certainly beats using plaster of Paris or gypsum or whatever you can get locally. However, whilst I can get both those products from Model Train stuff, I discovered that I can also buy them from Amazon. And there's Woodland Scenics, and there's Sculpture Mold, both available from Amazon. However, Amazon are charging, in this case, $18.99, compared with $6 or $7 from Model Train stuff. Amazon have more than one supplier often, so the prices can be all over the place. And I think previously I had a price of $11 odd for this, which isn't quite so bad. However, it's the shipping cost that I want to draw your attention to. And if we go and have a look at my spreadsheet that I created, you'll see the difference between the two. Plaster cloth, retail price $22.49 from Model Train stuff, which of course is not retail, it's retail less discount. From Amazon it's $27.47, so it's $5 more. However, when it comes to shipping, you're saving $24. So instead of paying $37 from Model Train stuff, you're only paying $12.61 from Amazon. You're saving $20, which is 33%. For the sculpture mold, the retail price is $6.49 of Model Train stuff. In this instance, $11.97 was the last example I got from Amazon, but the shipping cost goes from $55 down to $14. So the net saving is $36, which is a 58% saving. So the moral of the story is, if you've got anything bulky that you want to get from the US, don't forget to check out Amazon. They have a vast range of products. What they're not is, although they the myth has it that they're cheap. They're not cheap. What they do have is a great product range and very, very good shipping rates. So they're cheaper to import books and magazines and anything with a bit of bulk in it. Amazon will turn out to be cheaper on landing.
Support is also provided by Oak Hill Model Railroad Track Supply. Check them out. Their website is ohrtracksupply.com. Thank you very much, Jeff Otto, for your support.
And don't turn off. You haven't accidentally tuned into Ken Patterson's What's Neat in HO. You are actually watching What's Neat in Ensco. The reason for starting with that segment from Ken's podcast is that he's supported by these very good templates from Jeff Otto on making your own track. The problem is that these guys do not make N-scale products. They only make HO products. So so to rectify that or to balance the that situation, and to tell people in N-scale who are interested in making their own turnouts and track, you can go to an outfit called Fast Tracks. Fast Tracks have been around for many years, and they make assemblies for N-scale, straight jack, curve, turnouts, wires, three ways, you name it. It's a very comprehensive set of products. If you go in, there you go. For turnouts, you've got number 4, 4.5, 5, 6, 7, 8, even up to number 12 turnouts. So if you're interested in making your own track or turnouts, then you should check out the Fast Tracks website, which is at handlaidtrack.com. But we'll include that in the credits at the end of the podcast. In the manufacturers section this week, or this month, this podcast, we still haven't decided how frequently we'll produce them. Probably monthly. At the moment it's fortnightly. Anyway, this is the manufacturers roundup. In the video podcast number 2, we featured Atlas and and Lifelike. So this time we're going to start by featuring Cato, which are a large Japanese manufacturer of very high quality N-scale products. And if we go up their website a bit, this is their homepage. They give us right there on the homepage what they're currently up to. So they're telling us what's shipping in March, which is the Santa Fe Super Chief starter sets, some crossing gates, and FDP 40. Come in soon is some N-scale SD70 Max and SD70 ACs, and then there's a list of what they've recently shipped. So not a lot of information there, certainly no in-depth. You probably find out more from Ensco Supply's website than from Cato's, but that's what they tell you. So moving quickly on, we'll go to Athern. Now if we click on what's new, we'll get new arrivals and announcements. Okay, now they mix all their HO and N all up together. So what I do is, if you do Control F or Command F if you're on a Mac, and just key in N:, and then hit enter. If we're really lucky, maybe we're not going to be lucky today. I'm sure I've done this before. No, we're getting no matches this time. So that was a bit of a waste of time. N, we get in more than 100 matches, but that's probably stuff that we don't want. Got it the wrong way around. Try colon space N. Okay, now we'll be able to get all the N scale ones. If you put the right criteria in, your computer does what it's told. So we have a new announcement of airside hopper, a Thrall high-side gondola, a 3-bay centre flow hopper, trailer, FMC double door boxcar, tank car, bay window caboose, Ford trucks, mechanical reefers, ethanol tank cars, high-level auto racks, semi-trailers. Okay, and we're now back to September, so we won't go any further back. I am interested in tank trains. Let me just see if I can... Tank train. Okay, we've got no match for a tank train, so that's unfortunate. So, yep. So I won't waste anybody's time by. I was curious as to where we were at with they've got a tank train coming, which is Ken Patterson's already shown off the HO version, and it's pretty. It looks pretty interesting, but I'm pretty sure it was announced in the middle of 2017 and is not due for another few months. So we'll have to watch this space. Okay, Bartman. Now Bartman there's no what's new at Bartman. So all you can do with Bartman, there is a what's new, but you don't get any information. So what we're better off doing is if we click on there we go, click on the Bartman logo, and then we go to Ensco, and then there's the list of all of their products, and you go looking for the product you're interested in. I'm after a 280 steam locomotive, so if we go to steam locomotives, we'll see that they're all listed there. They're listed on the left hand side, but the pictures are in the center. And if we go to the 280 Constellation, you'll find that it's coming soon. Now, it's been coming soon for 6 months, but I guess it will arrive eventually. But there's all the details. They're all DCC equipped, and I'll probably get a Union Pacific 280 with DCC and sound when it arrives. That $399 price should reduce to round about sort of $299 at Moral Train stuff with any luck, which still makes it quite expensive, but I'm not aware of anybody else making a 280 in Ensco, so that makes it unique. So you could go through the rest of these locos. I'm pretty sure that all of the rest of them have been around for a while, but let's just have a look at the Berkshire, and there you go. You see it's been around, it's already in stock, and you can buy it from Bartman or whoever. So that's unfortunately the only way you can find out if there's a product on its way from Bartman eventually. Okay, moving on, we'll go to Fox Valley. Fox Valley just do monthly announcements. They don't seem to be particularly in advance, because if you click on the March, all of those N-scale products, oh yes, they're all N-scale products, have been shipped, and Model Train Stuff is offering all of those products already. So to continue, Broadway. Okay, Broadway's site's very simple. You go to their delivery schedule and you get a list of all the products that they expect to be delivered into the future. And you'll see that the Ensco F3 and F7s and the PRR T1. The F3 and the F7's due in June, and the T1's due in May. Believe it when I see it, but that's their current delivery schedule. And they've got some quite interesting road names for the F3s and the F7s, so check it out. And they're also almost in direct one-to-one competitiveness with Intermountain. Okay, Wheels of Time. Now, Wheels of Time don't make a lot of stuff, and the main reason we're looking at their site is because they have something special in terms of Ensco. So if we click on N Products, we'll try that again. Oh, there we go. We get the list. Now, what you're interested in is WP F7 Fabulous 4. Okay, now this is the last, I believe, is the last 4 locomotives that Western Pacific owned before Union Pacific completely submerged them in Armour Yellow. And these products are being made by Intermountain, so they're due sometime in 2018 officially. Don't be surprised if you don't see them before 2019. But anyway, they're scheduled. The Wheels of Time have closed off their reservations, which were due in December, but I think they were advanced reservations to give them an idea of how many to order from Intermountain. So, but you can still write to them and try and get on the waiting list for any spares that they've got. 3 of them are in the green paint, and 1 is in the silver and orange. So they are certainly going to be unique. The pricing's quite reasonable. They're available in standard. This is standard Intermountain range, so they're available in DC, DCC, and DCC sound. So check them out. Then right, that just leaves us in terms of American manufacturers that we're going to look at this time. We'll look at Walthers. Go to the main website, then click on New Products, and we do that, and we're back where we were, hopefully. Okay, so we're now on Walthers' New Products site. Okay, what we need to do here is we need to click on a scale. So we go to N scale. Now remember that Walthers are a wholesaler, so if you leave it like that, then you'll get all sorts of product manufacturers. So we need to then go to manufacturer's name and select somewhere way down the list, Walthers N. Okay, and we'll then get the new products for the Walthers brand in N scale, and as you can see, it's the SW 1200s that we've already looked at on Model Train Stuff's website. Okay, so that's the extent of the Walthers brand new products. Now we'll have a look at Faller. Now Faller is a German manufacturer of kits. In the N-scale world, There's Walther's Cornerstone and there's Faller, and really there isn't a lot of other manufacturers of plastic kits, certainly in quantity. Now in Faller you can go to New Products 2018, click on there, try again. It's going a bit slow, but it's getting there slowly. Okay, here we go. Okay, then you need to go on the left hand side to N program. Hopefully this may not be in English. No, it's not in English, it's in German. So we go up the top and you'll be pleased to know you click on the American flag to get English. So there we go. We've now got the website in English. We're looking at the N products, and as you see, they've sectionalized them. So we can go trade, commerce, industry, which is the main type of kit that most of us are interested in. And you'll see that they've got two new products for 2018. One is a diesel oil facility, which is due in July, and the other one is definitely aimed for the US market as a UPS logistics haul. I'll go into there because it's an interesting looking model, and they're their main two industrial products that they're manufacturing this year. Now I'm not going to the picture, I'm just going to go to the outline, because the picture includes trucks and all sorts of things which obviously don't come with the model. So there it is. It's a basic logistics depot of the modern era. So that's what Faller are currently up to. Now if you want to buy Faller, you've got two choices. The first choice was where we've just come from, Walther's. So if you go into Walther's and you change the manufacturer's name from Walther's themselves to Faller. Whoops, we need to stay with Ensco. And we need to go to Faller. Here we go, Faller. It's still coming up as HO, so we'll try again at Ensco. Okay, so we've now got a pile of Faller kits, all in Ensco. Now the problem is, if we click on in stock, you'll see that they've got one in stock and 46 out of stock, which they'll reserve for you. That's what it says. Or back order. I wouldn't rely too much on either, but that's up to you. Now, if you live in America, you may well want to try and get the product through Walther's, but when they don't have it in stock, it's a bit difficult. The place where I'd recommend everybody to go to, whether you live in America or if you live in Britain or Australia, is a wholesaler in the UK called Gaugemaster. Gaugemaster is very much the equivalent, the English equivalent of Walther's. And as you can see from the right-hand side, they have a lot of product that they're wholesalers for. So if we click on Faller, and then we click on Engage, and as you can see, everything's sectionalized, so it takes you ages if you want to look at everything. But we'll just stick to building and structures for the moment. And once again, you get a whole load of sections, but if we click on railway related and line side, okay, now we get a list of the products. Now the ones with a green buy they have in stock, and the ones with a yellow order they do not have in stock. Over on the left hand side you have the option of clicking on a button that says only in stock. So if we click on that, and hopefully, is it going to do a redraw for us? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But it doesn't look like it's going to do it for us. But anyway, you've got at least 4 pages worth of Fala, of which a lot of them they do have in stock. Don't forget you can take 16.6% off that price, unless you happen to be living in the UK, because exporters or importers, as in America or Australia, don't pay VAT, value added tax, and the postage is pretty reasonable. So when I want a Fala kit, I always get them from Gaugemaster, and they have a large range, as you can see, much larger than Walther's Cornerstone. And this is, remember, only just one section of industrials. There's lots of others. So that ends our look at manufacturers for what's new and neat in Ensco as at the 31st of March 2018. And I'll leave you with happy railroading, and enjoy your layout and collecting, and we'll talk to you again in a few weeks' time. Thank you. Bye.
In 1842 I left the old world for the new, bad cess to the luck that brought me through to work upon the railroad. To work upon the railroad. In 1843 'twas then I met sweet Biddy McGee, an elegant wife she's been to me while working on the railroad. In 1845 I thought myself more dead than alive. I thought myself more dead than alive while working on the railroad. In 1847 sweet Biddy McGee she went to heaven. If she left one kid she left 11 to work upon the railroad.